Hi friends, my name is Casey. I'm 17 years old. Most people like pizza. I'm one of them. But unfortunately, my relationship with pizza is more of an obsession. Pizza is the only thing I eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You might think that I eat different kinds of pizza every time, but that's not the case. Every day, I can only eat like this: cheese pizza in the morning, mushroom pizza for lunch, and cheese pizza again for dinner. It's not possible for me to eat mushroom pizza for breakfast or cheese pizza for lunch. The issue is that I'm extremely picky when it comes to food. I've been picky with food since I was a little kid. And when I say picky with food, don't think of your average picky eater. For example, some people don't like tomatoes. Some never eat eggs. Some feel nauseous at the sight of meat. It wasn't like that with me. The list of things I wouldn't eat was longer than the list of things I ate. For example, for 4 or 5 months, I'd only eat carrots. Then one day, I would suddenly quit and start eating only bread with jam. I wouldn't eat anything else when going through these phases. I preferred to eat only what I liked, and I kept eating only that thing until I got bored. My mom says I got this trait from my grandfather. I never met him since he died before I was born. My mom and I fight a lot about food. It was during one of our fights that she told me, in tears, about her father, my grandfather. Your grandfather was just like you. He even hid this habit of his so he wouldn't set a bad example for us. I don't remember him eating together with us, ever. Even if he sat with us, he wouldn't eat anything. I'm full. You enjoy your food, he used to say. We found out later that he was able to eat very few things. According to your grandmother, he could only eat boiled chicken and steamed vegetables. He said that he wasn't able to eat anything else because he couldn't stand the smell of other foods. I was really sad for him when I found out about this. How do you only eat chicken and vegetables your whole life? But your grandpa did. This is why it makes me so sad to see you are going through the same thing. But at the same time, I know you can't help it. My mom was right to be upset, but just like she said, I couldn't help it. And my obsession with pizza hadn't even started when we had this conversation. Even if I was going through these phases, I was at least eating different things. Unfortunately, my condition got a lot worse. For the past 6 years, I have survived on pizza and pizza only. I remember exactly how my pizza obsession came about. It was a Saturday. My parents both work in pharmaceuticals. They were going to a conference together. Just as they were leaving, my dad collapsed onto the floor. He was holding his chest. We called an ambulance right away. My mom went to the hospital with my dad. Everything happened in a flash. I regretted not having gone to the hospital with them. I was walking around the house, worried sick. A few hours later, my mom called. As we suspected, my dad had had a heart attack. Thankfully, he survived because they were able to treat him on time. He was doing really well. He had some tests done. My mom said they'd come back after they got the results. I even talked to my dad for a second. I was relieved by the good news. It was almost noon. I realized I still hadn't eaten breakfast. Because I was in a good mood, I thought, I'll eat something different. I'll tell my mom about it when she comes back. She'll like that. As I was looking through the fridge, I saw 3 frozen pizzas. I randomly picked one of them. It was the cheese pizza. I heated it in the oven and ate it for breakfast. I was someone who rarely ate pizza. I said to myself, I've forgotten what it tastes like. It's pretty good. Doctors wanted to keep my dad at the hospital overnight. They had to run some more tests. I said to my mom, don't worry about me. I'll look after myself. But she didn't listen to me and told me Aunt Joy would come and stay with me that night. I was so happy that I would be seeing my favorite aunt. I decided to eat pizza for lunch again. I took out one of the 2 remaining pizzas without looking, and as you might guess, it was the mushroom one. My aunt called and said something had come up. She would be coming later. And so I ate the last pizza for dinner. It was a cheese pizza. So that's how I had my menu for the next 6 years all set. Cheese pizza for breakfast, mushroom pizza for lunch, and cheese pizza again for dinner. The next morning, I woke up craving a cheese pizza. I told my aunt that I wanted to have pizza for breakfast. Even though she was surprised, she wouldn't say no because she knew how particular I was about food. She also let me have mushroom pizza for lunch. That's how my love affair with pizza started. And unfortunately, it took over my life. In the following days and years, even though my mom was very upset, she had to let me eat pizza because I refused to eat anything else. Since she knew it was an issue that required treatment, she tried to get me treated a few times, but nothing worked. Among these attempts, the weirdest one was something one psychiatrist tried. First, we had a regular therapy session. He asked me various questions, trying to understand why I only ate pizza. I answered them all truthfully. In the next session, he suggested I eat something other than pizza. When that didn't work, he tried to scare me with things like, "You won't grow any taller if you stick to a one-food diet. If you only eat pizza, you'll gain weight and no one will like you. You will never have a boyfriend." When that didn't work either, in the following session, he started yelling at me and even threatening me. "You are a spoiled little girl. You're doing this for attention. If you keep eating pizza, I'll write a report and they will put you in a mental institution," he said. Naturally, that was my final session with him. When I told my mom about what he told me during that session, she didn't take me back there. That man was even weirder than me. I was scared that he would turn his failure into an obsession and keep harassing me over the phone. Apart from that, my mom made another outlandish attempt for a cure. It was creative and interesting, but sadly it didn't work. My mom had seen a show on TV about people who had food obsessions like mine. In the episode, there was a guy who had only eaten hamburgers since the age of 5. The producers of the show prepared a little spectacle to overwhelm him. This guy ate 4 hamburgers every day. That's 28 hamburgers per week, 1,456 hamburgers per year. They loaded a truck with 1,456 hamburgers and drove it to the guy's home. They called him outside and unloaded all the 1,456 burgers in front of him. They said, "This is exactly how many burgers you're consuming in a year." He was shocked and sad, and he even cried. In the end, he decided to get treatment. My poor mother wanted to create the same spectacle to put some sense into her daughter. She somehow found the phone number of the TV show and called them. They weren't interested since they had already featured a pizza addict in another episode. So my mom wanted to do it on her own. But she knew that she couldn't spend so much money all at once. Still, she didn't give up. She called a major news channel and told them about me. "It's going to be quite a sight. My daughter doesn't know about this either. We'll see her reaction together. This would be a compelling piece of news for you." They said they were interested in shooting the story. After that, my mom reached out to a major pizza brand. When the company officials found out that my mom's performance was going to be in the news, they agreed to sponsor her. One Sunday morning, I got up as usual. Mom was in the kitchen. When she saw me, she said, "I have a special Sunday surprise for you. I ordered pizza for you from a wonderful place. It should be here any moment." Half an hour later, the doorbell rang. Mom held me by the hand. She took me outside as I was staring at her. There was a small pizza truck in front of the house packed with pizza boxes. I figured my mom was up to something when I saw a reporter and a cameraman on the street. She asked me, "Casey, how many pizzas do you think there are in this truck?" I told her I had no idea. "Since you eat 3 pizzas per day, what is 3 times 365? Yes, these are the 1,095 pizzas that you eat in a year." "How can you eat this much pizza? Sweetie, please give this up. And do it in front of the cameras so everyone would know about your decision." I looked at the pizza boxes. I said, "Mommy, if we collected all your makeup materials, or all the popcorn Dad eats while watching football throughout the year, we'd also get a huge pile like this. I'm sorry, but I don't know why you did this." My mom was incredibly upset, and she was right. She worked hard to do this, and her intentions were good. I could have hugged her or said something nice. Nope, I turned around and went back home. Now when I think about it, I can see that I acted just like a teenager. Unfortunately, there is no happy ending to this story. I'm 17 years old. For the past 6 years, I've been eating 3 pizzas per day. I don't know for how long I'm going to keep eating like this. I know that what I'm doing is wrong, and I certainly don't recommend it to anyone, but this is my truth. I need to tell it, and you can draw your own conclusions. thank you for listening. If you like stories based on true events, you can subscribe to this channel. Bye!